What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at a brand new 5-inch V6 ported pistol. This is the Tailored Arms Torch. At the 7, gonna run some strong hand weak hand, so 6 master grip, 6 right, 6 left, and we do it 7 and 12. It's good to see if the gun is just running everything when it doesn't have a very firm grip behind it. So let's see. All right, so they're all in, but 990, about same. 990 at a 90. So that's not atypical for the 7. I think I left one with the right hand, let it leak. And that was 11:46. Yeah, that was faster than most. So that's just him. So it did well on that. Ran fine, 11:46 at an 89. So that did really well. All right, we're at the 7, gonna run this torch. I've been playing with springs. I had an 8 in it, which I find odd because even the spec sheet on the website says it comes with a 9-pound. So not quite sure how it got an 8 in it, but that didn't feel good whatsoever. I have a 9 in it. I just had a 10 in it and went back to the 9. I think that might be the way to go. So let's put it on paper, see how this thing's printing. Hopefully it's not high, which would tell us this is the right spring, and see what kind of bill drills we can get. Braid 1 right, got a little climby, 184. Clean, 184. Clean, they're a tad higher than I am aiming. That was a 163 though. So that was a good one. I left all my mags back here, but so it's intermittently doing this weird trigger thing. I don't know if it's just something getting caught, hammer follow. I don't think I'm outrunning the trigger, so I really don't know. Let me grab some more mag. All right, let's continue to run these. I think this is just a good way to break the pistol down, see if there's anything like the trigger, and if it continues to happen, who knows? Bill drills will expose a lot. Shooter and gun. Clean at a 187, so 1/8 is pretty typical. Oh, that was just me. 193, I think it was all clean. I can't believe it. One serious line break. That was clean, 165. So it's got some giddy up in it, that's for sure. Ooh, that was early. But I was worried about that. I didn't think I had enough rounds, which I did not. I just wanted to pull the gun out really fast to check. Sound plausible? All right. 1 left again. 171 again. Okay, we got 1 more mag. Let's run 3 more bill drills and just see. Let me mark these up. 1 left. That was that first shot too. 1 left and 1 right. That was terrible. think that was clean. Yeah, 163. All right, so that is running bill drills, and I'd say performance-wise, everything that isn't just personal preference based, the only issue this gun has had has been that dead trigger. I don't know exactly what that is. We're gonna keep shooting and see if we can find out. It's hammer follow or just something getting bound up, perhaps with the sear spring. I don't know for certain. But other than that, the gun has ran flawlessly. Times on the bill drill was kind of like generally 1/8 and blocks of 1/6. So the good ones were 1/6 and the average, I'd say, we're in the 1/8, which is good. The pistol's fast when it wants to go. And then there's other things about the setup, the configuration of the porting and everything, grip. We'll talk about all that in the outro. Let's continue shooting this gun and see if anything else, positive, negative, or whatever, comes up. All right, next up is another drill that's been on the channel before. This is 10 out of 10. So 10 yards, 10 shots to half in A zone. This is more of a diagnostic drill because the first one I'm gonna run with the 9-pound spring in this gun, and then we're gonna run it with the 10-pound spring. I still am just kind of on the fence of what this gun is doing. I don't know if it's the spring, I don't know if it's the porting, I don't know if it's the porting and the spring, but everything just wants to get a little bit high on me. So we'll shoot this. I anticipate the 9 is gonna be, the misses will be high, and then we'll get the 10 and we'll see if that changes anything. So let's do it. Ooh, I dropped one, dude. I had one high, one low. Maybe I'm not, who knows? So 8 in, 2. I saw this guy, it was like the second shot, I think. But this guy surprised me, actually. So let's see what the 10 does. All right, so now that we're changing the spring, this is a good segue into another interesting part of the pistol. And that is these debris clearing channels that Tailored Arms put into the gun. And I believe these are patented as well, or patent pending. And what they are is right here on the rails, they have these recess cuts into the little channels for clearing debris. So they're on top and then they come over the side, clear debris, excess oil, potentially keeping the gun running longer. Now, I don't know what testing they did to say that these things work. I'll take them at their word. I'm not gonna jam the gun full of dirt to test it out, and I won't be sending enough rounds to get enough buildup to actually say, yes, that ran longer than this gun. But I think it's a cool idea. I like anytime somebody's trying something new, and that's you always see these things and you go, well, that's a simple idea. Why didn't somebody think of that? Well, first one to do it was Tailored Arms. I think that's cool. And those are the debris channels on the torch. All right, so we're still doing the 10 out of 10, but now we're doing 10 shots from the 10 with the 10-pound spring. This is 10s up the wazoo. So let's see if this makes much of a difference. Like I said, that last one I predicted they'd go high. One did, but that's offset by the low one. So interesting. This, if this is oversprung, these should be low. That was faster for sure. 421, so one high. Oh, too high, yeah, because one of those was marked. So I think the porting on this gun just, it jumps a lot. So the timing, I can't go that fast at 10, regardless of the spring. Let's run some bills at 7 with the 10-pound and see what that does. Everything on the 9-pound spring at bill drills was, for the most part, it was in. They did good. It did well on the bills, but they were a little higher in the A zone than I would typically like. And considering where I was aiming, they were higher. So let's see if this brings them down into the center more. Oh, yeah, it drops them. I got some hiccup there though. That was 196. Except it feels a lot slower. So it might be a trade-off. No, that one just got away, but I think it's printing better. Wouldn't you say?
I'd say so.
Yeah, that was a 192, so they're slower though. 189, so that was, we're nowhere near the 16s. There we go, that's a 167. So I think the 10 is the way to go in this gun. That definitely brought it back down to more of the general center area, which is super odd why this gun had an 8-pound spring in it. That I can't figure out. All right, guys, you know I gotta take the torch through a black belt standard. What kind of video would it be if we didn't do that? So we're gonna see how this gun does on the black belt, but my prediction, I don't know, I don't wanna make this come true, but I think it can pass, but not within the holster penalty. 176, that's within. Okay, maybe the torch can prove me wrong. But that's just 3 and 2, we'll see. 7.9, still within. So this is it. If the bill drill passes, it'll be, within holster penalty. Who knows if I'll get the 25, but. All right, with the 10-pound spring, can we get the bill? 5 rounds in the gun, dude. We get a molly on that. Shoot, that was a 173, so they're all in. I feel okay with the molly under those circumstances. If one was out, done. 178, so still within holster penalty. Now watch me go over time here. I never do here. Yeah. I mean, I miss, but I never go over time. I think that's happened once, dude. See, I like this gas pedal for that index, dude. I think I got it. That was a 1. Did I go early?
You may have gone just early.
That was a 111, dude. But it's a line break. Ooh, got it. Maybe we need to redo that. If I win early, this is the mulligan run anyway. Which technically, I guess, I don't know what would happen if you broke a shot and went early. Probably get DQ'd, but.
Yeah, probably.
That's right.
Dang it.
Yanked it, 126. Well, I was absolutely incorrect. I did it all within holster penalty, except I just blew that last 25-yard shot. That was an interesting run because I've never actually had to have mulligans, never run out of ammo. So that was on me. I always start with a full mag, but I didn't. And then I jumped it at the 25, but I made the hit. So you'd probably just get DQ'd right there, which that was probably just karma doing that to me. So worked out beautifully. All right, so that is running the torch. Some interesting things, let's talk about it. All right guys, tailored arms torch, let's talk about it. But this one is interesting because I've never had to do this before. I'm filming a new outro, and the video you just watched was filmed like 10 days ago. Had an original outro, but so much has transpired since then. I think this is the most transparent, relevant information to the torch, so I'm filming a new outro. But I also need to go back, give you a brief summary of what the original outro said. And simply put as possible, I think that Tailored Arms needed to reduce the price of the pistol or raise up some of the components, getting it to reflect that price point of $6,500 a little bit better. So really, what did I like about the pistol? What didn't I like? I thought the finish, the fitment, the build quality was really high. The aesthetics, it was a sexy looking gun. And I really liked that optic cut direct mount. It just got that SRO to sit super low. But then they did things like complement it with the very proud front sight. Just odd little choice there. And the V6 porting was totally acceptable, but on a gun like that, I think you want phenomenal. So the last part that was really kind of the elephant in the room for me was the grip. They used the Miller grip, which is a great grip. I like that grip a lot. I just don't like it on this gun. And I bring that up because I had the torch in my possession while the 2011 meetup was going on, which was myself, Tactical Bearded Dad, 2A in LA, and Major Havoc. Came out to Utah. We had so many phenomenal guns, one of them being the Torch, one of them being the AAF Raider, and they're both priced exactly the same. And when you had them side by side, I think there were some stark differences that you could see with the Raider, that steel custom grip, big magwell. It just felt, looked, and was a little more gun for your money. So all this was provided back to Tailored Arms, and to their credit, they made some adjustments and really are adapting to to make that pistol all that it could be. So that is why I decided to scrap that original intro and film this one today, because I think it would be a disservice to just release that original outro knowing what I know now. And some of which I can share with you, some of which I can't. But very soon I'll be able to. So as of now, what I can say is Tailored Arms has decided to reduce the price of the torch. They are going to do an updated magwell, an updated trigger, and a reduction on that front sight. And I applaud them for doing that. But I also know more than I can say. So it's going to be a cliffhanger ending here, but just trust me, you're going to want to stay tuned and see what is coming down the pike, because it is going to be exciting stuff. So I know that's a kind of a bummer way to end the video, but actually, if you think about it like I think about it, it is actually the best way this could happen, because the original outro really was like, oh, here's a gun that had some potential that just quite wasn't there. And today I'm saying, just wait. Behind these glasses, I am winking, and I hope you can read between the lines and really understand that that potential is on the way. So other than that, please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm Jeff for the Weapon Collective, and I'll catch you next time. Went for a mag, I had a marker.